The alarm clock doesn't ring, not because it's broken, because it no longer matters. There is no rush, no commute, no boss waiting. At midnight, the payment arrived, guaranteed, unconditional, enough to survive. Across the world, billions wake up to the same reality. Work is no longer required to live. And in that quiet morning silence, a question echoes through human history. What happens to civilization when survival is no longer earned? For thousands of years, human life has revolved around labor, hunting, farming, factories, offices. Your value was measured by what you produced. Your identity shaped by your job. Work wasn't just economic. It was moral, cultural, existential. Now imagine a world where that system ends, not gradually, not partially, but completely. Universal basic income already exists. Saw on paper, small experiments, limited trials, temporary programs. But this is different. In this scenario, UBI becomes permanent, global, sufficient. Every adult receives a guaranteed income, enough for housing, food, healthcare, and basic comfort. No conditions, no applications, no work requirements. Employment becomes optional, traditional jobs, obsolete. UBI doesn't just change money, it changes power. For the first time in history, survival is detached from obedience. You don't need to please an employer to eat. You don't fear homelessness if you say no. The threat that has driven human behavior for centuries disappears, and when fear disappears, everything else shifts. Historically, employment has always been coercive, not always violent, but always necessary. In ancient times, landowners controlled food. In industrial eras, factories controlled wages. In modern times, corporations control access. Even progress didn't remove dependency, it refined it. UBI breaks that chain. For the first time, humans are economically free by default. The change is immediate. Low-wage, high-stress jobs empty overnight. Warehouses, fast food, call centers. Hazardous labor. Why endure misery when survival is guaranteed? Employers scramble. Wages rise sharply at first. Then automation accelerates. If humans no longer need to work, machines become cheaper than persuasion. Industries dependent on desperation collapse fastest. Service sectors shrink. Gig work vanishes. Exploitative labor ends. Not through protest, but irrelevance. Work doesn't disappear entirely, but it transforms. With survival secured, people reassess purpose. Some pursue art, others research. Many rest deeply for the first time in their lives. Mental health improves for millions. But something else appears. A crisis of meaning. Because work wasn't just income, it was structure. Who are you? Used to mean, what do you do? Now that question has no easy answer. Societies struggle with direction. Some thrive in freedom. Others feel lost. Without external pressure, self-discipline becomes essential. Education systems adapt. They stop training workers. They begin cultivating thinkers. Governments no longer manage employment. They manage stability. Funding shifts from welfare bureaucracy to direct distribution. Taxes target automation, data, and resource extraction. The state becomes less paternalistic, but more powerful. Because controlling income flow means controlling society's rhythm. Companies face a new challenge. You can't threaten people with unemployment anymore. To attract workers, jobs must offer meaning, flexibility, respect. Corporate culture transforms or collapses. Profit is no longer enough. Purpose becomes currency as automation surges. AI replaces repetitive labor entirely, but now it's celebrated. Machines do the work humans never wanted to do. Productivity explodes. The economy shifts from labor-based to resource and innovation-based. Human effort becomes premium, not mandatory. Material poverty disappears, but inequality doesn't vanish. Status becomes cultural instead of economic. Influence, reputation, creativity. A new hierarchy forms, not of wealth, but of impact. Not every nation adapts equally. Resource-rich countries thrive. Others struggle to fund UBI sustainably. Migration pressures increase. Borders tighten not to stop people working, but to manage guaranteed livelihoods. UBI reshapes geopolitics. This moment mirrors past revolutions. The abolition of slavery, the end of feudalism, the rise of labor rights. Each time, society feared collapse. Each time, it evolved. But never before has all labor been optional. This is unprecedented. Not everyone uses freedom well. Some withdraw completely. Virtual worlds grow rapidly, addiction rises. When survival is guaranteed, temptation increases. Society must redefine responsibility without coercion. It's a difficult balance. In some regions, creativity explodes. New art movements, scientific breakthroughs, local innovation. In others, stagnation sets in. UBI does not create purpose. It reveals whether it already existed. Over decades, norms shift. Children grow up expecting freedom. Work becomes seasonal, project-based, voluntary. Lifelong careers vanish. Life becomes modular. Education never ends. Retirement disappears because work is no longer a burden. For centuries, humans were indigents. Now, they are free. But freedom demands answers. If we are not here to labor, why are we here at all? To explore, to create, to care, to understand. UB doesn't answer that question. It forces us to. Universal basic income would not destroy civilization. It would expose it. Expose our motivations, our values, our fears. It would end work as obligation and begin life as choice. So the real question is not whether UBI would work. It's this: when humans no longer have to work to survive, will we finally learn how to live?